We Happy Few is finally out and finished. Haha. Yes, it's done. It's a complete game, fully finished game, put a fork in it, cause it's done. It's out. Oh dear God. Oh, We Happy Few, you deceitful bitch. You tricked the world with your misleading reveal trailer, came into early access, and I actually made a very nice video about you ages ago when my comedy was shit and nobody watched me. Good thing that's not the case anymore. But I remember actually liking you, mostly because I was in love with your surreal, psychedelic style, you were bursting with potential, and you were in early access, so I figured all the stuff I didn't like could get changed, because I guess I forgot we live in a world of lies. And here we are 2 years later. You're officially out, I'm officially dead inside, and as much as I really, honestly, seriously didn't want this to be the case, in my opinion, you're more boring and broken than my parents' marriage. In fact, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I always try to finish my games before I review them, but in this case, when I got up to the game's third and final character, I was so cripplingly bored that I just couldn't force myself to finish the whole thing. Yeah, I know it's stupid and unprofessional to review a game before you finished it, but trust me, I played more than enough of this game to know how I feel about it, so even if the third character is drastically better and his bit involves partying with strippers on the moon, I wouldn't know and I don't give a dick! Okay, well, to be fair, the game's not terrible, and I do consider myself to be an optimist. You know, I always say the glass is half full, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, The Last Jedi wasn't that bad. So let's start with the good stuff, which is mainly the story. The game takes place in a 1960s version of England where they lost the Second World War and the government is trying to distract the population from how shitty things are with a psychedelic drug called joy. So the country is divided into the people who take the joy and choose to suppress their memories and live in drug-fueled bliss, and the downers who remember everything, live in squalor, and will literally kill you unless your suit is covered in shit. I actually like this world they've created. I think the satire of British politeness, quirkiness, and stiff upper lip attitude in the face of tragedy is done very well, which pains me to say considering it was written by a bunch of filthy Canadians. And being a dirty Brit myself, I'm a big fan of the sarcastic writing, the swinging 60s style, and the over-the-top politeness and constant apologies. But if you don't like that stuff, then really that's absolutely fine, and I'm just so sorry for wasting your time. But yeah, I actually really like the game's writing, world, and general style, but you know what, I may be an optimist, but I'm also someone who believes in sharing honest opinions, and I personally think that the rest of the game ranges from just okay to dear God, make it stop! Like I said, the game is boring. Like fucking doctor's waiting room with no phone and an old TV showing the news levels of boring. Here's how an average quest in We Happy Few plays out. You talk to a guy, go to a place, fight or sneak around some bad guys, get a thing, go back to the guy, and get a cheeky slap on the bum. And I know it sounds like I just described every single game ever made ever, but the problem is, like 70% of that formula is the traveling. In fact, most of what you do in this game is run to and from different places, unless you're in the nice towns where everyone will beat the shit out of you if you move any faster than a brisk jaunt. Seriously, there is so much walking in this game with very little to do in the meantime, unless you want to talk to the NPCs, nearly all of whom have the same fucking face! What is that? Seriously, what is that about? But even when you're not traveling, the rest of the gameplay isn't that fun either. The combat is very basic and you can get through most fights by mindlessly swinging like you're playing Wii boxing. The sneaking is tedious and it's very easy to trick the brain-dead enemy AI. I mean, watch this. What? Yeah, I heard that. It was me. It was me. It was the guy standing right fucking in front of you. And the crafting and survival elements are about as fun as they are in any game, so I'll just leave you to figure that one out for yourself. But even the fun bits are spoiled when you get to the second character, Sally, who is just objectively worse to play as. She fights worse, she runs worse, she crafts worse, and you have to take care of a baby the entire time, because that's totally why I play video games. I don't know about you guys, but that is exactly what I want! And to top it all off, the game is fucking busted. I got the PS4 version, and when I played it, the whole thing felt like it was barely holding together. You've probably already noticed the terribly inconsistent frame rate. When you're out in the open, it usually runs okay-ish, but when you're all drugged up in the nice towns, it's fucking abysmal. Like, I've honestly never seen a game run this poorly on a console before. I mean, guys, I know it must be really hard to render all those one faces, but come on! There's also crazy pop-in wherever you go, constant long loading screens that come out of nowhere, and it crashes more than an editing software. That's a little editing joke there for my fellow editors out there. Represent! And of course, we can't forget the million bugs and glitches I ran into. But I mean, come on, guys. Let's give them a break. I mean, this game was only in early access for 2 pissing years, and it's totally acceptable to release a game onto the PS4 that feels like it's held together with old tape and Pritt stick, and also give it a fucking digital deluxe edition. So that's gonna be a 10 out of 10 from me. In conclusion, I personally found We Happy Few to be a big disappointment. I know I've been harsh and I know I didn't actually finish it, but I'm sorry guys. For me, playing this game was a fucking chore. It feels like it never really left early access. It's still got the bugs, the pop-in, the feeling of crushing depression when you play it, but that might just be me. And the really annoying thing is, I think the story is great, and if they'd put that level of care and effort into the gameplay, then maybe I wouldn't be verbally disemboweling it right now. I guess the main reason I'm so angry with this game is because I knew from day one that it had incredible potential, and maybe if they'd put more work in, this could have been something really special. But instead we got a boring, broken, bland experience with some admittedly great writing, but you know what they say, if you polish a turd, then you're a fucking weirdo. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you ever do that?